Video games are a waste of time for men with nothing else to do. Assalamualaikum and good morning to Madam Speaker, to the accurate timekeeper, the fair educators, my fellow opposition and members of the floor. We, as the government team, strongly agree with today's motion that is video games causes bad behavior in children. Before I begin my debate, I will clarify the rules of my fellow government team. I, as a Prime Minister, will define today's motion and give out 1 point, which is video games causes violence. My Deputy Prime Minister will then rebut the points given by the opposition leader and give out 2 points of his own. Then the third government will then rebut all of the points given by the opposition leader and the second speaker. Children are people from the age of 4 to 12 years old. Violence can be seen in many video games such as Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, God of War, among others. Before I move further into the subject, you must first understand the physiologically state of mind of a child. So a child is like a sponge. They will absorb any information that is given to them. But they will think it's okay.
So answer.
Yes.
If you are saying that children are like a sponge, how about if the parents are giving advice to children? Children will listen to the parents' advice. Please explain this. So,
our motion today is video games causes bad behavior. Okay, so video games portray violence. Now parents these days are very busy with their work. So, how can they advise them if they are so busy with their work? Okay, now violence in video games is not a thing that's recent. Okay, since the 1980s, parents are baffled on why children are behaving so badly recently. So a great deal of research has been done to correlate the link between video games and violence throughout the last 2 decades. So Craig Anderson, a professor from Iowa State University, went all the way to Singapore to working with 3,034 students aged 9 to 12 about their video game habits. They were given questionnaire designed to measure their aggressive behavior and attitude towards violence. Unsurprisingly, the children who played more games per week scored increases in aggressive behavior and violent tendencies compared to people who play fewer hours of video games. So you all might ask, they are only children, right? They wouldn't be able to understand about this violence, okay? So yes, they wouldn't, but they wouldn't do anything to hurt or kill someone like it's being portrayed in the game, but they will when they mature. Okay? So if they're being raised up as being violent, they will probably act that way when they reach an age where they can think for themselves. For example, Daniel Patridge, a 16-year-old boy, children are people from the age of 4 to 12 years old. He shot both of his parents. Okay? Why? No, sorry. See? So, what can I say more?
Next, I call upon the first speaker from the opposition, please. Nur Ain Farzana binti Turki.
Very good morning. I bid to the honorable adjudicators, official chairperson, accurate timekeeper, my team members, and also not to forget my delusionized opponents. I stand here as the first speaker of the opposition side, strongly opposes the motion. This House believes that video games are the cause of bad behavior in children. First of all, before I continue on with my speech, I would like to introduce the roles of my team. I, as leader of opposition, will rebut the minister's speech and will also be giving out my own points. My deputy leader of opposition will be giving out some more of his own points while rebutting the first and second speaker from the government side. My opposition whip will then summarize the whole debate while rebutting first and second and third speakers' speeches. Before I go on with my speech, I would like to redefine the motion for today, being that video games are virtual games which are played on a platform, which are also played in their leisure time and help them to relax and release stress. While children, I would like to redefine as 7 to 17-year-olds. Before I go on, I would like to tell you about the history of how video games originated. Video games are invented by Nolan Bushnell in the 1970s. His first video arcade game was called Computer Space and was invented with the intentions of being an educational game as a way to entertain children while being educational at the same time. Now I would like to state my stand for today's debate, being that video games will not affect the children. Now I would like to start off by rebutting the first speaker of the government side, being that first he clarified that children are like sponges who easily absorb information, which means that they can apparently absorb the violence from the video games and such. But as POI'd by my second speaker, if they are so easily influenced, I don't see why they can't absorb the influence of their parents, being that their parents can explain to them the causes of video games and also then discipline their children more. Now I would like to continue on with my second rebuttal, being that he went on about how video games are the cause of Video games are the cause of children's bad behavior, but he didn't realize that he was actually stating because video games are not controlled by their parents, and that video games have to have strategies and such and such. So this will, by applying this in their game, they can apply this in real life, where they will be able to focus more on their studies, be aware of their surroundings, and a lot more.
How does the content of the video games apply in real life? Let's say Call of Duty, where they shoot people. How does it apply in real life?
This I say as a metaphor. Call of Duty shooting people in real life, obviously that will not happen. But shooting people in the game, like I said, allows them to be more aware of their surroundings in the game. So we realize this will obviously apply to different situations, but with the same effect. Now I would like to continue on with my last point, being that there are different kinds of video games, and I feel like people should not stereotype video games to just one kind. And even with those video games, there are a lot of hidden benefits between them that people don't see, and people just like to focus more on the cons than the pros. So now I would like to end my speech by strongly and firmly opposing to the motion. This House believes that video games are the cause of bad behavior in children. With that,
Good morning, I bid to the honorable adjudicators, official chairman, accurate timekeeper, my team members, also not to forget the misleading government team and the members of the House. Today, in this dignified morning, I will honestly concede the truth of the motion. As the motion for today is, this House believes that video games cause bad behavior in children. First of all, I would like to rebut the Prime Minister of the government side. I would like to say that the proof which has been stated by the Prime Minister is not acceptable, as he stated the definition for children is between 4 to 12 years old. I repeat, 4 to 12 years old, but he mentioned about a guy who's 16-year-old. Next, he also stated about kids are like sponge, they absorb everything. How about if the parents are giving advice to them, they will listen. And I don't know why the Prime Minister of the government side, they keep narrowing down the video about video games regarding on the violent video games. I don't know why he keep narrowing down video games. There are many good kind of games. As he also say that parents can't be. No, sir, speak up now. As he also say that parents cannot be with their children every second. I understand they cannot be with their children every second, but they still have a little time to spend with their children. Next, As the second speaker of the government side say that children are naive and innocent. So how could they come with behavior problems? Because they are naive and innocent. As he also said that children are wise and they have right to choose good friends. I can say that children are wise and they know which game to be played and which act to do. As the second speaker say that our leader here is agreeing with the motion, but I actually want to say that they are agreeing, they are opposing this motion because they are saying that children are naive. As the second speaker also mentioned that there are many positive games. I can also say that, such as Flappy Birds and such. In this 21st century, the children are really matured enough. As we say that nowadays children are really innocent and then they are more advanced to the children who are in the past. So I can say that, as we say that video games are a major source of entertainment. I repeat, entertainment. So we play video games just for fun, and we can't take it as an example in our real world because we play it just for fun because it is a major source of entertainment. I would like to proceed with my two main speech under the keyword children are mature enough and parents have leverage on children. Let's see a simple logic. If a child is playing a video games which is when they saw that a superhero is flying, is he going to try to jump from a building? No, because he's mature enough. The children know which is right. No, sir, speaker, please sit down. The children know which is right and which is wrong. They know how to act in the real world. It's just a game. As he said, children are naive. I can say that they play game just for fun. They do not know anything, so they don't take it as an example in real world. I want to continue my speech with selected games should be there. Yes, please.
You said a numerous speech including that video games are just playing for fun. Can you solidify your items? Solidify.
Okay.
Solidify.
Okay, I would like to say that video games are played for fun. It's like that. The second speaker of the government side tells that video games are a source of entertainment, and I repeat it. It is from the government side. So, from here we know that they are agreeing with us. Next, I would like to continue with my point. Selected games should be played. Parents have leverage on children. I repeat, parents have leverage on children. Why do they become a parent if they can't control their children? Parents who are providing the video games, so parents the one who need to control their children. And why do the children need to play violent video games? I can say that whenever parents have free time, they should spend time with their children, like playing good type of games. And as a guideline for that, if they are playing violent games, also the parents should advise their children as a guideline for that. Next, I would like to say that a statistic shows that children who are playing Mario for 30 minutes a day and for 2 months, the game is actually improved memory and strategic skills. And 72.6% of 7-year-old children are mature enough. I want to tell that why 7-year-old children are mature enough. It is because they are able to communicate all over the world through video games such as Clash of Clans. As my leader of the opposition say that bad parenting still cause the bad behavior in children. I strongly and firmly agreeing with that. It's a parent's responsibility to control their children. We can't just blame on video games. We should blame on parents who are providing them the video game. The parents should know which game to be provided to their children. Is there any POI?
Yes. So you said that video games have improved memory, but why do people who play video games a lot tend to not score a lot in their tests in schools?
Sit down. I want to say that does the Prime Minister have approved? No. I could say that there are many brain games which could help children. If a if a child who are stressed in their exam, they could play video games to release their stress and become relaxed. This could help them score well. As here we know, I want to continue that. As we know that there are no NPR regarding what selected games should be played, I can say that the government side are agreeing to us that selected games should be played. Parents, I repeat, parents who are providing the game, they should know the limit, they should know what to provide. As the parents have the responsibility. If they don't have the responsibility, why do they become a parent? Next, I would like to say that, as I said before, children are matured enough. As an example, as I said before, that children can able to communicate all over the world. Children nowadays children are really matured enough, because in this advanced world with smart gadgets and modern technologies, they are able to think, which is right and which is wrong. They are intelligent. So, as a conclusion for my speech, I would like to remind this house, which is our stand: video games will not affect children. I repeat, video game will not affect children. So, I proudly end my speech.
From the history of video games, which is video games are invented by Nolan Bushnell in the 1970s, and the first video game which is invented is named the Computer Space, and it is an educational game. I reaffirmed it because it is a main fact for this debate. A very good morning to the honorable adjudicators, the official chairperson, the accurate timekeeper, my team members, and also not to forget the brave yet sly opposition government team. My bad. I would like to start my speech by reaffirming the stand, which is video game will not affect children. I would like to start by rebutting what the first person of the government side has just stated. He stated that video games cause violence. I would like to repeat, don't stress it down to violent games only. We are talking about different genre games. Our side just stated about educational games and benefits in violence games too. So every video game in this world has at least a benefit which could be attained by a child who is playing video games. You may sit down. The first speaker also stated that Call of Duty is mainly causing bad behavior in children because it has violence and so on. But then he doesn't know that Call of Duty also has benefits. You can improve your awareness your accuracy. What if in real life you are walking alone, a child is walking alone? Then you need to you need to be aware of your surrounding, that something bad should not happen to yourself. And if the child is also like a sponge, the child absorbs everything, they should also be able to absorb the advice from their parents, as we have repeated it many times, and so. The first speaker also stated that parents are busy, they don't have time to advise their children. I would like to say that then, are you trying to blame the parents? If you are trying to blame the parents, then you are just supporting my first speaker's point, which is bad parenting. I would like to also repeat that bad parenting is the main cause of bad behaviors in children. It is not video games, because video games also have benefits. Please sit down, Mr. Speaker. The first speaker also stated that he defined the children from age of 4 to 12, and he also the third speaker also disagreed that 13 to 17 is not a child. They are called as teenagers. I would like to tell you, sir, do you know that Children's Day are celebrated from the age of 7 to 17? No. If 17-year-old people celebrate Children's Day, they are also called as children. The first speaker also stated that parents don't have time they don't sit with their child every single second. If they don't sit every single second, they at least have time, at least 30 minutes, at least 10 minutes to talk to their child, to spend time with their child. They could advise, they could tell good things, and so on. Now I would like to rebut what the second speaker, the Deputy Prime Minister, has just stated. He said that my first speaker is secretly agreeing with the motion. I would like to ask Mr. Speaker, are you trying to create points? I think you have a problem in hearing, because my first speaker just disagreed strongly and firmly with this motion. He also stated that video games only promote violence. I would like to say again and again, I repeat again, that video games don't only provide violence, they have benefits. They have benefits, and parents should limit them. It's the responsibility of the parents, it's the main responsibility of the parents to limit, to raise their child in the good way so that they don't get addicted to video games. And we couldn't also blame the child, because the child is innocent. He is just following what the child's parents are telling. If the child is buying video games, buying violent video games like what the government side has just stated, then it's the wrong of the parent. They are wrong, because they should be blamed, because they are the one who is buying violent video games for their child. They should know that children from the age of 7 to 17 shouldn't play violent video games. I would like to rebut what the third speaker of the government side has just stated. He stated that by earning money, parents just earn money. Parents think that if they earn money, they could provide good education for their children. But I would like to disagree, because parents earn money to provide basic needs, to provide things that are in need for their children. So if I agree that education is also a need, but then video games are not a need. So if they provide video game, that is wrong. We have to blame the parents, not the child who is innocent. Yes, sir.
Sir, you said that parents are earning money for their basic needs. Everyone has basic needs. That's, we just lay aside it. But if we just lay aside the basic needs, but for their child, they have to earn another certain amount of money. That's why they're working extra time to earn money for their child, for their tuition fees, for their classes. Please explain.
I would like to explain that. I understand, Mr. Speaker. You're talking about working extra time to earn more money to give basic needs for their children. What do you mean by extra time? Extra time, we have a limit for 24 hours a day only. And in a week, parents only work for 5 days, maybe 6 days, including Saturday. But they have Sunday, 24 hours. In that 24 hours, they have time to spend their time with children. He also stated that my bench didn't specify certain games. I think you also have a hearing problem, Mr. Speaker, because my second speaker has just stated about Flappy Bird as an educational game. Flappy Bird doesn't contain violence, doesn't contain drugs, doesn't contain pornography, but it is just a simple game which is giving you strategy. You can learn strategy from playing the game by just tapping and making the bird fly and go through obstacles. Now I would like to sorry, this now. Now I would like to elaborate and support my first speaker's points, which is by playing certain video games you could attain benefits. For example, we could take first-person shooter game. There is not only violence in that, we have awareness and accuracy in that. There is also benefits that are called as hidden benefits, which children should know. And based on my speech, we just saw that there are not many POIs from the government side. So from here we know that our points had reached the top of the Mount Everest, while theirs is still in a coffin 200 feet below the ground. With this, I rest my case.